Oh. Hopefully we can survive with lower bit rate. Oh, looks a little laggy. What does Twitch think? Does Twitch think it's not enough?まあ、多少のラグは大丈夫だろう。知らんが。ポッポッポッ。どうだろう。Yeah, I can't tell if it's laggy because of my connection or if it's because it's inherently laggy. I'll just have to ask, and we'll just assume that this is okay. Ooh. Leela, if you're looking for a cute anime girl to get anime voice, sorry to disappoint. If you get this, feel free to stay. I am studying right now, so yeah. That's I think all this today's stream is gonna be just catching up on some studying. Well, actually, in a little bit, I'll probably go get dinner, but um, because I was okay, yeah, perfect. Although I realize, not I don't know how common it is for people to come to Twitch to watch studying, high octane studying, right? But yeah, I'm taking a EM or I guess it's a electromagnetism and optics class. It's undergraduate, but yeah, this is the only class I'm taking this semester, so um, and admittedly, I'm a little bit behind on the course material, so we're paying a little bit of a catch up, or playing a little bit of catch up. So, um, common studying as well. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, sounds good. Yeah. So, the way I kind of planned this stream is really just, I mean, really all it is it's an excuse for me to actually actually study. So yeah, so feel free to study as well or whatever. Or yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna study a little bit, and then maybe at a lot of the restaurants around here close at about 10 o'clock. So last order is usually like 9:30 or so. So I'll probably study for maybe another hour and then maybe get dinner. Elsa, welcome back. I'm actually studying today. Wow, surprising, right? Yeah. And yeah, sorry for the what do you call it? The um sorry for not streaming for like the past week. It was a lot of was it a week? It's been a while. But I was actually, you can probably tell that because the desk sort of changed up here. But um yeah, I'm actually in the office right now. I got so fed up with, trying to be like, oh, okay, I gotta leave the office by this time to be able to finish, doing the stuff and then starting the stream and whatever. And I was like, why don't I just take my computer to the office and stream from here? Now, granted, I can't, I'm a little bit bottlenecked in terms of bandwidth. I can't just hog all the bandwidth of the school network, um, I figure, we had already kind of addressed this. The idea will be that unfortunately, I'll have to stream kind of low resolution to Twitch and YouTube, but then I have it set up so that if I need to record, you know, this screen, I can record it at 1080p. So if I need to, record something for the purpose of like, later make a video or something, then I do have the setup. I do have everything set up to record at 1080p. So we're just gonna have to be like, it is what it is. It's not perfect, but it's I think the most optimal considering the circumstances. So yeah. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what these streams are for. I've been doing it for what, like 2 years, right? Shade Tuning because I do something. Oh yeah, sounds good. Again, I mentioned it to Leah here a moment ago, but yeah, I'm probably gonna study for about an hour and then I'll go get dinner and then come back and then keep studying. Just because otherwise, if I don't, head out before like 9:30 or so, then all the restaurants will close, so I won't be able to get takeout. Um, but yeah. So yeah. Oh, physics. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm studying physics too, but yeah, sounds good. So you can, finish what you need to do first, and then we'll be here as usual. Yeah. Cool. Sounds like a plan. Although, actually, do I have like a? No. I was gonna like, let me have some Pocky, but I don't want to ruin my appetite. So yeah. Let's just work. Let's just work. Stick to the one. Actually, just refilled the entire. I I I don't want to get too sidetracked, but let's just say, the grape Fanta that I've been always, like the Japanese grape Fanta, the thing I've been looking for like ages. We almost got some the other day, except the they had just run out by the time I got to the store. So we're almost there though. We almost have some grape Fanta, some Japanese grape Fanta. Ooh, excuse me. Exactly. Although I've given up on the Mountain Dew because I think it's not really considered summer anymore. So yeah, I've given up on that. I'll just have to go to Taco Bell. Major something. So about that. So technically, I'm already declared, and technically, I should have graduated last semester. You know how I said I'm taking one class? Yeah, exactly. You can piece those two things together. But I'm just a physics major. I couldn't do all the fancy double major stuff. Although what I heard is that the astrophysics is a pretty common like either double major or major and minor. Um, so uh, so from what I heard, that's actually pretty feasible. But for me, I was just like, man, I'm already struggling with just physics. I'm not gonna push myself. Yeah, thought they were those rectangles of dirt where you plant seeds. Those are blackboard. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, no, this is yeah blackboard. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, this is. I would show it, but this is if this were on YouTube, then I think yeah, you could barely justify like sharing the link. But this is in a a box account, like box like the cloud storage provider box. But this isn't a box account that is locked to our university or access is locked to people with our university, like our domain. So it's very clearly restricted. So unfortunately, I can't uncensor the screen as usual. But anyway, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think physics is cool. Yeah, I don't really understand the appeal to the degree that some of my colleagues and my peers like physics, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I think it's cool. I'm not as into it as some people, but yeah. Although thankfully I've been able to find some research to participate in, and it's really nice because it's a biophysics project, but it's kind of it incorporates like optical physics and like and chemistry and like neuroscience all together. So it's a very fun project. So I'm really enjoying my time here. But if we're asked, do I really like physics as a single subject? Um, not necessarily, but I can find it interesting, right? It's 2 years. Oh yeah, that thing died. The little plant that goes in the box. Um, yeah, yeah, I feel bad for my cousin because yeah. I feel bad because it was a cute little thing, but it grew a little bit and then it just fell over and died, and I just didn't really know what to do with it. I'll ask them how it's actually supposed to grow it next time. Yeah. I do not have a green thumb. I have a dry thumb. Yeah. Okay, okay, but let's get back to work. Let's get back to work. Yeah. Or you can get back to whatever you were gonna finish working on first. Let's see. And as for us, we're talking about energy transfer. Yeah. Yeah. So let me just kind of mentally piece this together, right? So let's see. So I guess this is an example that shows well, eventually. So we were talking about the excuse me the proof for local energy conservation and yada yada yada, and then right. So then we developed a continuity equation for the field energy. Um, okay, and we said that that's comprised of two parts. Um, one is the time derivative of uh, the sum of the electric and magnetic field energies, right? And then that plus some flux or the divergence of some flux should then equal the amount of work done on all the charged particles in the volume. Let's see. So does that make sense? I might just have to write it down on a paper and just brute force memorize it. I feel like it makes sense. I feel like it makes sense. Because, let's see. So the divergence of the Poynting vector, where the Poynting vector you can mentally treat as... I don't really know, actually. But I feel like that in general makes sense. Um, I'm a little bit having trouble. I'm having a little trouble visualizing E dot J, where E is the electric field and then J is the current density. How exactly the projection of the electric field on the current density? Like, what does it even mean to project something onto a current density? But anyway, um, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. So I guess the TLDR here is that um, the continuity equation doesn't equal zero, which is to say that while stuff like energy is conserved, um, in this case, we're not really talking about the energy. We're talking about or we are talking about the energy, but we're talking about a specific circumstance in which some work is being done on a charged particle, right? And then that's why you wouldn't expect energy to be conserved because, or rather, you wouldn't expect the field energy to be conserved because some of it is lost to the work done on the. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's fine. All right, that's fine. Except for in a vacuum, right? Yeah, right. And if you're in a vacuum, then there are no charged particles, so you're not doing work on anything. So of course the energy stored in the fields should be conserved. Okay, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I need some water. Mhm. Sage researchers. It's been a while. When was wow, I don't want to, I don't mean that in a bad way, but like yeah, when was the last time you came by? But yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, yeah, we tried to, I forgot, I don't even remember what the channel looked, what did it look like before? I can't remember. I more like here. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, I've been trying to revamp the. I think I'd revamped the. Tried to like revamp the look of the stream maybe every few or every like at least every half year or so, if not a year. So it must have changed at least once or twice. Oh, you were here back when I had the 3D model, weren't you? Okay, okay, yeah. So it has been a while. Yeah, yeah. How have you been? How you been? I mean, as you can tell, I'm perpetually studying, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to just get some work done. We got some assignments due at the end of the week and stuff, and I've got a bunch of catch up to do. Good health. Oh shoot. Although I guess you say you're doing good though, so I guess I mean it is what it is, right? You gotta prioritize your health. Video of the professor at the board. Oh, this is just a lecture recording. I'm kind of going back through my notes, and there were several parts where I was kind of like scratching my head and like I was like, what were they saying again? So yeah, just a lecture recording. Yeah, it's nice. The professor, it's funny. He uses a GoPro to record the lectures, and I was surprised because it actually works. He just puts that on like a tripod, and then he just like records the lecture, but it actually works really well. Like, I mean, if I had to complain about one thing, it seems like the GoPro like cuts up the video into like 300 megabyte segments. I don't know if that's actually what it does, but the videos when they're uploaded, or maybe it's a limitation of the the platform we're storing it on, like the cloud thing we're using to store it. But for some reason the videos come in like 300 megabyte segments, so it's kind of annoying to like, because it'll be like in the middle of saying something and it'll switch to the next video, or it'll stop, and then you have to go to the next video and try to parse what the full sentence of whatever you're saying. So yeah. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little unfortunate you had to kind of you know, step away from your PhD program, but I mean, I guess it's good to hear that I mean, right, like you can't, you gotta you can't finish your program if you're dead, right? So yes, but that's good to hear that. It's good to hear that you're doing well. Yeah. Yeah, we actually our research group, I don't know, were you I guess if you're here a year or more than a year ago, then I probably wasn't even in the group that I am right now. Right. So I was able to join a research group, and I'm on a biophysics project right now. I can give you the whole spiel another time, um, but yeah, it's there. It's just you. I was tutoring. Oh, really? Wait, when was I tutoring? Well, anyway, I probably wasn't in this group right now, so I'm just but anyway, yeah, yeah. So I was just gonna say that we had a few people that kind of had to take a leave as well. Um, help them sometimes. Oh, okay. I see. I well, I guess what I'm gonna say is I don't remember doing any of that, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did. So, anyway, yeah. So, but okay, yeah. Must have. Yeah, I guess that sounds like something I do. But anyway, Yeah. But yeah, we had, I think we had about two people that also had to kind of, take a break. So actually, I think one of them now is running a, like a music, what is it? Some kind of like music studio. I don't really know the details, but yeah, so it sounds like, I guess in his case, it was just kind of, I don't know if it was a burnout or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it's at least 6, if not more years of your. In fact, it was so funny. I mean, but yeah, right. Like it's, um, yeah. Again, yeah, exactly. You can't finish a program if you're dead. Although it's funny because after quals or the I know I what do you call it? Sorry, what does ABD stand for? Yeah, pause the research for a bit. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's the. I don't know if it's the best outcome, but it's all but dissertation. Oh, right, right. Okay. That's good. That's good. So it's not too much trouble though. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah. Sorry. What I was gonna say is that I work with some. I'm the only undergrad on our team, and the only other people, the other two people in our team is our grad students. So one of them was doing their quals for this year. I guess they also did. I guess they're done now. I think they did last year and then this year, but they finished their quals, and I guess there's a party that all the grad students hold, and I got invited, and I was like, I'm not a grad student though, so what am I supposed to tell people? So and so people were like, oh, just tell them you're a 10th year, you're a 10th year or something. They won't ask, or they'll stop asking. So yeah, grad school. Yeah, I don't think I'd necessarily want to spend 10 years, but I guess it's rare but plausible enough that people will stop questioning it if you say so. Yeah. 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 Sorry, I forgot. What was your well, I mean, I don't know if I should remind you of work right now, right? Like I don't know. Are you still kind of just relaxing or um workout? Yeah. So I'm not sure how admin's gonna like if because I don't think admin probably wants people on quote unquote working. No, sorry, I just couldn't remember what your what your research was on. Sorry, my memory isn't that good if you couldn't tell by the fact that I'm reviewing on a what is it, Tuesday evening. I should be playing video games or some shit, right? But yeah. Sorry, what I was gonna say is or I don't remember what I was gonna say. Um, or actually, yeah. So I'm at work, so to speak, more like I'm at the office. Just totally abusing the fact that I have a key card to 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 what do you call it? Um, totally just abuse the fact that I have a key card. Although I will just say one thing. So so I think on one hand, someone could argue that could get, I could what do you call it? Not sued, but like I'm not supposed to use school resources for making money, right? But since my Twitch account isn't even a affiliate, much less partner, I'm not making any money by streaming. So I feel like at least in terms of that aspect, I'm not, I can't get sued for that at least. Now I might get, and I'm also reducing my network usage. I've made it basically bare minimum. So I don't think I could get, banned on the grounds of excessive resource or excessive network usage as well. So I think I'm in the clear personally, but we'll see what IT has to say. They have I'm logged in using my school credentials, so they can contact me if they think I'm kind of using too kind of excessive it or using this excessively. So yeah. You focus on language learners. Oh, okay. Now to members to PH my fringes. Oh yeah, actually that's probably faster, right? Yeah, if you want to plug it, I guess unfortunately today is kind of a slow day. More like every day is a slow day, but um, uh, yeah. Yeah, we are, you know, people are free to plug whatever they want on my channel. So, yeah. But yeah, it's probably faster to just click a link. Yeah. Actually, let me keep, actually, never mind. Hmm? Did this not open? Where did it go? There we go. Oh, it opened in, what do you call it? It opened in, Microsoft Edge. That's what it did. Okay. You know, I haven't used Wix in a while to make a website. Um, but I guess I see everyone using it. And, you know, I guess it makes nice websites. Just I had used it ages ago, and I don't know, the user interface wasn't super intuitive at the time. But I guess, and I guess if they've lasted this long, they must have a good platform, right? From a drop down. Oh, yeah. You know, I agree. I think I've mentioned this before, but I think a lot of like UI design these days like try to like make everything look like sleek and like hide everything, and I'm like, but I kind of want to you know, like I don't want to have to like yeah, I agree. I don't really like the drop down either, because it's like I don't know if what I'm looking for is under more or, you know, some other thing, and like I have to go through all of them and like look for it. Actually, what I really hate is, I don't know, have you seen National Instruments website? It's super clean, it looks super nice, and it is just it's just horrible in terms of navigation. Like I can't find anything that I'm looking for on that website. Yeah, the only reason why I bring it up is because we had to get a an analog recording, or a card for analog recording, um uh and man, that website was horrible. Yeah, yeah, sure. Actually, let me finish looking through this and then just, okay, yeah, this is fine. The transitions and stuff. Well, I suppose one thing I wonder is it okay for you to dox yourself using through this website? I mean, I guess it's your research, so I mean, I feel like I can't really criticize, because as soon as I talk about my research, the moment you like Google like the 3 or 4 keywords associated with the stuff I do, my name will pop up. So my name won't be the first to pop up, but it'll be like the sixth name, or no, it'll be like the eighth or ninth or so name to pop up. And it's basically, you know, at the end, after me, there's basically no one else listed. So it's like, you know, once you know the handful of people that work on on the thing we work on, then you basically know who I am. So it's like I can't really criticize, but yeah. Twitch me labs be interesting. Okay. You know, let's see. So okay. So that's well made, gotta say. Yeah. Your face. Yeah, like right up. Well, I think, you know, I think it's good. I think, well, I mean, I guess what I mean to say is, well, actually, wait, the way that this page scrolls here, that is very strange, or that's very kind of, I don't think it's bad. I imagine that's just how it's designed, but I don't know, that threw me off for a sec. You know, like on the second page on the about me, like how like it, like the window to show the picture, or the box that the picture is like embedded in, like it sort of scrolls but doesn't scroll with, like it's like, what do you call it, it's I don't know, but it like doesn't scroll perfectly with it, like that that threw me off for a sec. I don't think it's bad. I guess it's just one of those things that was kind of unexpected. Like I expected the picture to like scroll with the page, but it didn't. So I don't know, I guess it's those fancy things that they can do with websites, right? Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, and so in terms of which website's better, huh? I don't know. I don't know. My gut feeling is the second one looks a little bit easier to read. Glad this is pixelated. Yeah, yeah. I keep everything pixelated until I can get permission to publish it. um, presents the topic better. Well, then I'd actually have to read every page though. Let's see. Okay. Well, I think the first thing is my... Okay, so this is at 100% zoom, so this is what I would expect to see. Well, first of all, on the first page, right, your diagram's cut off, and also I'm not really sure what's going on with this. But even before that, I guess what I mean to say is your short blurb below the title on the first website, on the main page, the font's a little small, I gotta say. Or I guess it's the font's a little thin, and I get part of it's, I guess, your proximity to the screen, but like I'm on a 1080p screen right now, so I'm assuming that at 1080p and then I'm at 100%, so no zoom or zoom out, it's, I don't know. The font looks a little thin, so it's a little hard to read there. And then you got the diagram here, I think that's fine. And that font persists through the entire website, doesn't it? Okay, so then putting that aside, I mean, the About Me, I think, is nice. I think it's fine. It's nice and short, and, well, first of all, the text is legible. So I think text is always legible, but it's just, I do have to kind of I don't actually have to squint, but, you know, it's a little hard on the eyes. Part of that might also be the background. Maybe, I don't know if there's a way to switch it to, like, gray, maybe? Because I think it's like pretty close to just solid white, right? It isn't cut off on... Interesting. So then maybe it's an issue with Wix and how it treats different browsers. Quickest way is to just check on different browsers. And still cut off on here. Then what if we change the bounds of the actual browser window? This is why I hate websites that are like, oh, it automatically adjusts. Automatically adjusts isn't a good thing. It means you don't have control over it. They're like, oh, you know, we have, you know, our website has like, you know, it's got like automatic mobile support. Oh, I see. Okay, so if I make the website more narrow, it doesn't cut off. Well, I don't know if gray will work. Just maybe try it and then see how it looks. Because I don't know, again, I don't know what pure white is right now, but if it's pure white or not, but it does look a little hard to read. The research questions part, I don't know if it's possible to break down the big paragraph into multiple. But in addition to the narrow text, the big paragraph I feel like is a little bit hard to read. Let me just actually read through it for a sec. I see. So like study streams are, yeah. What do you call it? Yeah. I feel like the white background would be fine, if the text were just a little bit like big, maybe not bigger, but I guess like I'm curious how many, like when I look at this text on the screen right now, I'm curious how many pixels each character, or how many pixels wide the lines are, because like my gut feeling is that the text is literally like 2 pixels wide. Cool image. And I don't know, just a little hard to read. And then for that reason, I feel like the other one's fine. Oh, actually, wait, yeah, the other website even uses gray for the background. Like there's white, the primary background is white, but then the area around text is actually gray, which I think is consistent with Twitch's UI design, right? Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this green, but I feel like it's fine because it's like highlighting, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. And I feel like, and I'm assuming this is also borrowing from Twitch's, what do you call it? Their color palette, right? Oh yeah, no worries. I this is what I usually do, right? Hence why I'm always behind on stuff. But Yeah, I don't know. Do you have access to like a separate 1080p screen that's maybe like 19 or 20 inches? Because I feel like the screen that I'm looking at right now, it's 1080p screen, but I think this is I think this is 20 inches, 20 or 21. Um, so yeah, or maybe it's just the font because when you go to your second website and then the conference presentation part, this is pretty narrow text, but it's totally fine to read. So I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to get some more feedback and figure out what exactly the issue is. Yeah. Also, cool face. Was my face? Oh! Is this website? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Uh, and then I guess if I had to make one more comment, where is it? That's fine. Yeah. If I'd make one more comment, I think it's fine. And then this goes to, yeah. Yeah. What I was going to say is that at first glance on the second website, I don't know, is it on the first website as well? No, it's where your email was. So in the first website, so by my gut feeling is I expected on the about me in like text. I know you link, yeah, you have the contact which will open your you know, whatever default mail application you have. But so technically you can, so I guess the essentially is how hard do people have to search to actually find the actual email address as opposed to relying on a link to or relying on the operating system to automatically embed it into or to open a new you know, or to start a new email on your email application and then embed the email address. Yeah. So like technically I can see what your email address is without it needing to be in the paragraph, right? Because I can just hover over contact and it says mail to and then the email address, right? I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. On the main page. Let's see. Let's just do this first. Where is it? Not this one. It's not about me or anywhere else. Yeah. Yeah. So I think you also put it in the frequently asked questions, right? Yeah, so it's technically still here too. So I guess it's fine. It's just it did take me a second to find it. So I don't know what the best solution. I feel like it's fine as it is, right? Like I don't think it's a big deal. But just that it did take me a little bit to figure out where your email was. You know, besides relying on like, you know, if I could open my, you know, I could do this, I guess, probably. Huh? Oh yeah, see, that's what I hate. Like for example, well, this is what I mean by like I don't like trusting the operating system to handle this stuff because I'll hit like get in touch and then oh well great. Yeah, so let's try that again. Why is it no, I'll prove my I don't have to prove my point, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Essentially what I was going to say is that I don't like these get in touch buttons that open your mail application because if you don't, like let's say you just use like your web browser for email, then well first of all you can't email the person, and then or you can, but you know it's like it's you know, I don't know how common. How about you guys? Do you usually like copy like highlight the email address on a website and then like copy and then paste it into your web browser or not into your like, you know, into like Gmail or something? Or do you actually use the, you know, like a dedicated mail application on your computer and then yeah, more like yeah, exactly. So and with the way this website is right now, you have to go into frequently asked questions and then under a specific question. So, and then that's fine. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess see, this is where I want to see data, honestly. I don't want, like, my opinion to, like, you know, guide this. It's just, I don't know how common it is to, like, I don't know. Does everyone do this where they just, like, do copy and then go to, like, Gmail, you know, Gmail and then, you know, paste it into, like, a new email? Or do they actually, you know, use this click link and then, it opens it up. Um, like, cause I feel like it goes both ways. Like, I think my mom uses, what is it? She uses like, well, before she definitely used like MSN. MSN had their own like dedicated application, like, ages ago. So she used that often, but then after they got absorbed by Microsoft, I don't know if she started using Outlook or not. I feel like she just uses her web browser now. So, and then yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Those are nitpicks. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but yeah. But yeah, in general, I maybe get a second or third opinion on the text. Maybe get a second, third opinion on the text, but then otherwise, I feel like the first website, that the small text is a little hard to read, and then I think those are my main comments. Yeah, I do prefer the second website, but that might be just because it has more stuff on there, right? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So Moderacy, yeah, welcome back, and yeah, Sage here was just showing me the website for their research. So yeah, which is surprisingly relevant to me, right? Because it's discussing what do you call it, the lifelong learner philosophy, and I guess, or does it necessarily discuss that? I don't know, but it's in regards to that, right? And then also using Twitch as a what do you call it? A non, well, I don't know what you call it, right? I guess there is a hierarchy, right? But it's definitely it's the use of Twitch as a learning platform in which the conventional hierarchy isn't necessarily uh or without using that conventional, like, teacher student like hierarchy, right? Um or with not necessarily using it, not that it doesn't exist or not that you're avoiding it, but right, I don't want to butcher I don't want to butcher Sage's research, so I'm not going to pretend to know what all the details. But anyway, which operation is this? Anyway, actually, speaking of that, yeah, so yeah, Monterey, as you can probably tell, I don't know if you actually can, but if you look up on the screen right here, well, you saw my hands, so you probably noticed the desk changed a little bit. I'm actually in the office right now, so so uh so yeah, so I put all I moved my main computer and stuff, and even the overhead camera, right, to the office, so I don't have to, drag my ass all the way home just to stream. So we're gonna try to be doing more studying and more Operation Notice Me on my Alpha Song to buff my VTuber portfolio and such, right? And yeah, and I also set up what do you call it, a some acoustic foam on some panels here, so I can I can put up some acoustic foams when I need to as well. So we're kind of making I'm kind of concerned if I have to give up this desk, it's gonna be such a pain to take all my stuff out. Yeah, actually, one of the grad students in another team in our group was I was talking to him the other day because I was helping the one of the postdocs, or wait, no, he's not a postdoc, he's like a sixth year grad student, I guess, but his e-scooter was busted, so I was helping him fix that. And so this I think third year grad student we were talking to this third year grad student from a different team, and he was asked, he was like, why are you guys doing this, or why do like why is the undergrad here? Not that I wasn't allowed to be, but more just because it was like, it's not even my scooter, what the hell was I doing? So I was telling him, like, yeah, so I just happen to have replacement connectors for this scooter that we could use with the scooter for the electrical connections and blah blah blah. And so his first thing was like, why do you have everything? like why do I happen to have this, this, what do you call it, these like quick, or these like, high voltage connectors for these like motors. And I was like, I don't have everything, I just happen to have these connectors for these these connectors because I have a e-bike and blah blah blah. And so it was just kind of an awkward thing because I don't know, I guess I'm getting known in the group as the guy that just happens to have that random thing you need. uh What is this? Elon. Oh, is this like Elon Nichan? Elon Nichan Pro. If you're looking for a cute anime girl with a cute anime voice, sorry to disappoint. If you get this, feel free to stay. I like the username. If I'm understanding the reference correctly, I like the username. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So back to work. Back to work. I gotta actually study, unfortunately. So let me move this over here actually now. I just realized Discord isn't detecting that I'm streaming. Why is that? Oh, it's because it's the web version. Then maybe I should install Discord. Yeah, I don't have it installed. That's why. Occasionally link you. There are several, are there not? Is this green or is this, or did we, I basically, what was the name we gave to the one that was like venting to you that one time? Korean text. Ah, hi, yes, yeah. Sleeping on stream. That's a little scary. Hopefully they didn't dox themselves, honestly. Yeah. So let me just start installing Discord. They didn't. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, were they just tired? Long day? I mean, that happens, right? Like, I fell asleep on the couch here the other day. Uh, Korean Doge. Oh, yeah, like they use a different platform, right? Okay, yeah. Now I'm remembering who you're talking about. Okay. Let's pull this off screen so I don't spoil. All right, let me just log into that, and then we can get back to studying. Although honestly, if I'm okay with hot dogs, then the hot dog place is open until 2 o'clock, so I don't really actually have to rush. But okay, there we go. Now it's probably detecting. Put that away. We can send the media link. Oh fuck! What did you send? Just like a warthog, just being like. What is the plane? The plane where like the gun on it is so massive that like it literally like pushes back on the plane, like it like literally slows down the plane when you fire with it, and it sounds like a I don't know, but it's just like I don't know, it's got like a funny like burr sound. What is that plane? So I think it's one of it's something that the U.S. military uses. What is that? 15 seconds of Lucia scream compilation. Oh, this asshole. So let me just back this up really quick though. So there we go. This freaking Lucia. Although, yeah, I don't know. Is there a? Well, actually, wait a sec. Compilation one. Are there multiple compilations? Did someone actually make multiple Lucia Scream compilations? Maximize this. 3 of them. Oh, jeez. Let me guess. It's Soju, isn't it? Is it Soju? I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Because I know Soju makes all the or made all the Dushia memes, but VTuber Hall. Oh, okay, so it's someone else. Sorry, let's see. So current density is J, right? So that's the thing that I don't really get. So current, or maybe that makes sense. Maybe that makes sense. Essentially, current density, right? So you have a current, and then for some reason we're dividing that by the area. So pi a squared, where a is the radius, and so pi r squared essentially. And I was like, why does that make sense for the current density? Because if it's a density, don't you expect it to be a volume? So shouldn't it be, in the case of this cylinder, shouldn't the current density be something like, you know, pi a squared, so the circular cross section of the cylinder, then times some infinitesimal, like width or like depth. But let's see, so current density, and yeah, and this is like, but there's no like dx. 10,001 is around $8. Okay, so one is like a thousandth of a dollar, or it's like a tenth of a cent. Is that right? Did I do that math right? Interesting. Did you get chart? Well, wait. How does it process that? Does that $8.61 also include the like the what do you call it, the conversion fee or whatever it's called? Why is current? Sorry, wait. Why? Yeah. Well, sorry. Why is current density the current divided by the area of the cylinder, not because we do define a length for the cylinder. Sorry, let me look this up. Oh, it's literally just how it's defined. Current density is literally defined as the amount of electric current traveling per unit cross section area. So you're literally only looking at the cross section. Fine. Um, you still have to check. Okay, so then realistically, it's not even $8. It's more like 7, right? I assume. Interesting. Oh, okay. Speaking of Korea, I kind of want um, tofu stew. Like it was hot today. It wasn't at all cold today. For some reason, I really want tofu stew though. Hmm. Oh, they only took like half. They only took like what? Fifth? What is that? They didn't even take 50 cents, did they? For conversion or for currency conversion. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, I guess it's also a small amount of money, but let's see. All right, so then we define E as V over L times Z hat, where Z hat is in the axis of the cylinder. And why does that make sense? Actually, I talked about this with I'm gonna have to jog my memory, but later, but really should be doing it now, but I mean, I get the justification. They're saying the current density is uniform. That is to say, the current density on one side of the cylinder, some arbitrary cylinder we set up, is the same as on the other side of the arbitrary cylinder we set up. So the current's flowing evenly through, like if you took any two places in the cylinder, the current density, you know, if you looked at it in terms of like a pipe with water in it, the speed that water's flowing through the pipe at one spot is the same as the other, is the same as the other, is the same as the other, at least in this case, in this hypothetical example. So then, which suggests that like the electric field, the thing that's like driving that, is also the same at all those spots. Like it could go faster or slower, right? Technically. But it doesn't. So E must also be uniform. And we know that the voltage difference across the two sides of the cylinder is a certain amount. So then the electric field just must be that difference divided by the length at which that voltage difference or that voltage occurs. And then we also just tack on the direction that occurs in, which is Z hat. So V over L times Z. Seems kind of hand wavy, but. And they say for magnetostatics, B is circumferential, which makes sense because by right-hand rule, if you've got the electric field, or if you've got electricity flowing in a wire, then you're going to get a magnetic field that kind of circulates around it. Yeah. And then I don't remember the equation for that, but they just give it to us. Right, and then from those two we can generate the Poynting vector, which is just E cross B with some prefactor 1 over mu. Not okay. And then we go through all that trouble, but like, why are we getting these vector fields and stuff, right? They're saying there is a field energy flux at the boundary into the cylinder. Oh yeah, I don't know if that's a given. It's not a given, but it makes sense, right? Because with those we figured out, okay, what's going on like in the cylinder. But it's entirely possible that there's like stuff coming into or out of the cylinder. Like maybe you got some extra stuff coming into the cylinder and then doing some work or something. So then they're saying, okay, so now that we figured out all that stuff going on in there, let's figure out what's coming in or out of it. So they say the field energy flux at the boundary in the cylinder, and if we account for the entire surface, we get total energy flowing into the wire per unit time. Yeah, right, yeah. So we say like, okay, we've set up. So consider the setup of the stuff going on in the wire, and then also account for what the stuff around the wire is going to do to the wire. And then the sum of those should just be the total stuff that happens to the wire. Okay, yeah. So then they say the total energy flowing into the wire is equal to per unit time is equal to the surface integral of the Poynting vector. Am I misunderstanding? Actually, yeah. So there is energy flux at the boundary. How do we know that there's energy flux at the boundary? I think I just need to review what the hell a pointing vector is. Let's see. Pointing vector represents the directional energy flux or power flow of an EM field. Oh, I see. So this whole setup was just to say to grab the pointing vector, which gives us the flux. Okay. Because that's E cross B, right? Okay. Oh, okay. I see. I see. So the setup you get, or right from the setup we get E and B, and then that lets us compute S, which is the pointing vector, and then what? Let's see. I guess that's welcome back, right? Jackson, Nor. Sorry, I don't remember what names we used before. Is that right? Let me see. Sorry, I'm just having trouble remembering names right now. In fact, I'm having trouble remembering a lot of things right now. Anyway, yeah, thanks for, I assume this is a raid, is that right? Sorry, I don't have Twitch open. I only have Restream's chat open. I need to learn how to actually use Twitch. Yeah. It is a raid? Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, you've caught, well, actually, wait, I'm actually studying for once. I'm actually studying for once. Yeah, thanks for coming by. You guys have been here before, right? Because the names seem familiar. I could be wrong, but yeah. But yeah, I'm actually studying for once. Wow. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, sorry, I'm kind of scratching my head on the justification of this part, but yeah, how's everything going? You're not? Oh, really? Okay, but hasn't. Okay, maybe I just kind of assumed, but I remember, yeah. Nor definitely. Yeah, kind of. Sorry, I guess I just assumed. Or actually, wait, no, have you? You might have been here when I had the old model. Let me see. Let's see if Twitch is gonna call BS on me. Because wait, on my UI, I can see if people are new, right? I think. I don't know how to do this. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so for anyone that's new, yeah, this is a studying channel. Hence why I'm scratching my head about pointing vector. For the record, it's pointing like this pointing, not pointing like point your finger at the screen. If it was. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to get that to show up. I will learn eventually. I will learn after I'm done learning EM and optics. Yeah, no, this actually threw me off, the whole like pointing vector thing. Yeah, no, sorry. So pointing, is this a guy's name? I think it's a guy's name. I think pointing is a guy's name. But anyway, yeah. So this is just a study stream, just to jog everyone's memory. Right now, I'm taking a class on EM and optics, so hence why I'm talking about electric and magnetic fields and stuff, right? And yeah, I have a lot of studying to do. Sorry, so yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. So I'll just kind of be mumbling to myself. I mean, so I guess the idea is this. We finished reviewing Maxwell's equations, and we were talking about how you get like conservation or what do you, yeah, conservation laws, conservation laws from Maxwell's equations, and specifically we were talking about conservation of energy, or specifically local conservation of energy, right? And the thing that I was scratching at was my head on was why we were so and essentially then we were doing a section, and then we got a sample thing, like a sample question that was like, okay, you're given a wire, you got some current going through it, and you can measure the voltage across it and blah blah blah, and they're like, okay, I'm not even sure what we want to figure out. I guess we want to figure out the just energy flow through this wire. I dropped out of school for a reason. Well, I mean, the thing about school, right, is it's not for everyone. I think it's good to, at least try to finish like high school, right? But the fact of the matter is, like, it's not for everyone. Um, and also, if you're in the US, and well, I guess it depends on the country, but at the very least, if you're in the US, it's not that hard to go back to school if you ever need it for some reason. So, like, you got to do what you got to do, right? Like, yeah, people can talk about, oh, you should go to school, this and that. But if you don't have food on the table or something, then, you clearly got, other priorities, right? So I think and that's a simple example. There's other stuff like, I can think of, I think even in our graduating class for high school, there were, or I guess they didn't graduate for that reason, but there were a few people that had to, you know, leave school because they had to like take care of their parents or something, or or honestly, one guy was really he was a character, but he just like totally dropped out for like no reason, and I think he did like a trip around the world or something. I don't know where he saved up the money. I guess he like worked during school or something, but yeah, he just like left the year before before you graduated. So I don't know if I'd do that, but he's a interesting guy. Uh, the degree thing, yeah, I mean, that's I think so. From what I can tell, up until like grad school, they kind of assume you won't necessarily know what you're going to do right off the bat, because that's what like from what I understand, like the grad students here, like the first year or two, there's like rotations in different in different research groups, right? So even in grad school, they're like, we know you applied with this in mind, but also take a look around. So I think it's fine to not be even sure about your degree. I mean, again, I think it's good to finish it, but like it happens, right? What can you do? um yeah. No. Okay, right, yes, right, like it's like just do it part-time if you can, and like that's fine, right? Like, architect. Really? I mean, I guess that, right, that depends on where you are, but I mean, yeah, that's I actually took architecture in community college, just one class. Not because I wanted to do architecture, but because I needed to. I just wanted some background knowledge for a different project. But yeah, no, it was a fun class. It was a little bit of a pain. I thought it was interesting, but some people found it a pain because we had to do drafting manually. But I thought it was fun because you could kind of do pen. I'm kind of a pen and paper guy at heart. Um, Although these days I do everything digitally, right? But um, turned into I don't want to go back. Oh shoot. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I'm kind of I'm definitely the kind of person who can't stop. If I ever stop going to school, then I think I'd probably just never be able to come back just in terms of motivation. So, that's a relatable feeling. I totally understand. Yeah. 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 Actually, that's kind of the one thing why I've kind of actually wait, no, I never wait, I can't talk about that. Never mind. But let's just say that that's kind of the reason why I spent a little bit too long in community college. I think the smart route would have been to like work a little bit and then go back to community college and then study and then transfer to like a 4 year. But I also knew if I did that, then I'd just probably keep working. So so again, totally relatable. Totally relatable. Yeah. Yeah. And the job market's tough. I feel like the only field that I can think of with like ongoing significant demand, like off the top of my head, is like the trades. So like if you're going to like plumbing or welding or something, uh, or like machining, then I can totally think of places that are definitely hiring like actively. But besides that, yeah, it's tough, Yeah. And then even if you can get into like grad school or something, yeah, sure you get paid, but like you're also, it's a barely, from what I heard, a lot of grad programs are really only pay like a barely living wage, so it's not super fun either. Yeah. And then, you end up with like, like student loans, right? So, end of high school, uh middle school. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And actually, that's you bring up a good point. Um, High school, I had a decent in high school, I guess, but but one thing I really noticed was like, and this is one I noticed especially when I took organic chemistry. um, it's so much. Is it you feel free to argue with me here, but I feel like organic chemistry was way more straightforward to learn than general chemistry, and I feel like the same thing happened with like physics as well and bio. Like I feel like the general subjects are like I struggled a lot with just like the general STEM subjects, but as soon as you get into the more like advanced topics and then the class actually focuses on that like specific topic, then I was like, is it just me or does it just get like, not that you like learn how to learn the subject, but like I feel like the curriculum is just more like straightforward. Like it's not easy, but it's just like it's not super convoluted. Like you know what you're aiming for, kind of thing. I don't know. Um, yeah, yeah. Hate schools. Yeah, yeah. It's the unfortunate, what do you call it, consequence of curriculums, right? Although I actually took it was very strange. Our community college offered educational psychology as a class. So I took it because I was like, what am I going to do? Take general psych? General psych, I was just like, oh, great, everyone's taking it. And also didn't really, I looked at the syllabus, it didn't really strike me as interesting. But educational psychology, that was a fun class, or I guess our professor made it fun. But you did get a little, we did get a little bit of insight into why the curriculum the way it is and how to improve it and stuff. And I guess the conclusion is it is a definitely difficult subject, but yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, it sounded like it's just fundamentally a funding problem. But anyway, uh, oh yeah, page minimums on essays are so stupid. Although I do have to say sometimes I can understand because it's like, oh really, if you don't hit more than, some people would try to submit like a page and a half, and it's like, there's concise and there's yeah, anyway. But some stuff like people would talk about like getting assigned like 20 or 30 page essays, and I'm like, there, are you writing a thesis? uh the history major that I roomed with last year, he had to write a 30-page paper. But he had to write a 30-page paper because that was his thesis that he was going to apply to grad school with. You know, like that was the thesis he was writing with his professor about, I think it was tomb epitaphs in, I don't remember what part of China, but it was like an analysis of tomb epitaphs. So you can imagine you could write, you could feasibly write 30 pages because you've got, thousands of, well, maybe not thousands, probably more like hundreds, depending on what, what, what time period you're discussing. But, you got like hundreds of years worth of literature to work with. So yeah, you can understand maybe needing 30 pages, but like you're not, if you're not doing that, then why would people have like a 30-page minimum, right? It sometimes it seems really arbitrary. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Right, exactly. It's a rubric thing, right? I feel like the best professor is like, of course there's always that one person that's like, professor, what is the page minimum? Or professor, what's the minimum I need to do? But, good professors will say like, I expect around this much. And they'll just say that. They're not going to say, not going to put a minimum, right? Like the minimum won't be on the rubric, but it'll be under like, in my experience, it's been like this and that and this and that. But usually a good rubric doesn't have like stuff like page counts or like word minimums, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's fun to you, right? Like, I'm not knocking it. He had some interesting stories. As he mentioned, and now I'm getting sidetracked. Whatever, I'll use this as my break. But yeah, the tomb epitaph thing was actually kind of interesting. I know that's not what you're referencing, but it definitely is one of those things where it's really only practical or really efficient to like learn those things if you're actually interested. Which is why I find it a little strange why my roommate was doing it, because I wasn't really sure if he was ever really interested in it. But anyway, but the little bits of information he would give me were kind of interesting, because it was like he was talking about how like a lot of these records of like who where people's tombs were. That's what we started doing first. It was the tomb epitaphs were also kind of tied with like trying to identify who was buried where, and then using that to kind of narrow down which epitaphs were talking about who. But he was talking about how a lot of these records would be like, yes, so and so was buried, next, or south of, here and here or there, and next to so and so. So from that you could identify who, and you'd have to like cross-reference that with some other records to figure out, okay, these two people are this person and that person. Like, so he thought it was kind of interesting to hear how these records were kind of like relative, in the sense that like the records of where people were buried were like relative, like data points. So it's kind of interesting hearing about stuff like that. Um, but otherwise, it's like, yeah, it's otherwise I don't think I'd really be interested. I don't want to be rude to ancient Chinese scholars, or scholars of ancient China, but I don't think these little things are interesting, but as a entire field, I'm not. It doesn't necessarily pique my interest. And actually, that's where you can find a good, that's where a good teacher kind of really shines, right? They can make a boring subject seem interesting, or they can make, something you'd be kind of apathetic about at most into something that's interesting, right? I feel like that's definitely the case with my OChem professor. Uh, let's see. Lots of followers, more than the views. Weren't you affiliate? Uh, well, do I? I think I only have a few hundred, right? Um, and yeah, no. Thankfully, thanks to my handful of regulars, yeah, I do technically satisfy the requirement. The issue with affiliate that I find is, well, first of all, I don't think it's good practice to just go agree to contracts, without fully reading them. With that said, I have read most of the affiliate contract, and I just don't really see much of a benefit. Biggest fan. Oh, shots fired, shots fired. Don't let LSAO hear that, man. I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, no, we've had a lot of regular. I've been blessed with many regulars. Maybe not many compared to the bigger channels, but to me, like for a study stream, I think anything more than two regulars is a lot, right? But to actually answer the question, I don't really, it's really, at the end of the day, it's a matter of principle. I don't think I can really offer anything at the moment that warrants receiving money. So like these, like looking at other VTuber channels, they'll do like, they'll be very people that would be very there'll be like very conversational people, and they'll play like video games, and they'll do like they'll do like what do you call it, they'll do like ASMR, or I guess these days ASMR is a little bit of a touchy subject, right? Because I think even on YouTube people are starting to get banned. But they'll do things that I consider are worth they'll be worth being things that are worth compensation, being compensated, I think. um and in my case, I don't really think I have anything like that. Use good things to monitor, yeah, to choose. Yeah, I think I think there's a number of issues, mainly. Well, first of all, is I think just in terms of principle, I don't think I'm offering anything that is worth receiving money for. So there's that. And I agree with the channel point thing. Well, I don't know. I feel like the channel point thing kind of gamifies things, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. So I'm neutral on the channel point thing. Regarding emotes, I did enable what do you call it? Is it like Frankerface or something? Like Frankerface or something like that? Like there's a way you can make third party emotes, right? So I did have that I think it's still enabled actually. But anyway, so I figure like we can, that way, if anyone wants to make an emote, they can just tell me and I can kind of pass it through to Frankerface or something, right? So I think that's my way of kind of enabling emotes without really necessarily taking money for it. Educating us, well, that's the thing. I'm not educating people. I'm studying. you know yeah, so that's my view on it. Again, I'm not yeah, trust me. Yeah, you can veer on the stream side. Well, I mean, I think want that founders oh yeah, I think that requires a paid thing, right? um but yeah, okay, so here's another issue I feel. um and I know I encountered this a lot, and I don't know, I think maybe I don't know nor how long you've been streaming. I think you've been streaming for a while, haven't you? But anyway, so you don't have to agree with me on this. I'm just kind of explaining my thoughts on it. I think there is a bit of a concerning culture on streaming platforms where I think people are there's a I feel like there's a non-trivial population of viewers, or on the internet, who kind of treat these like either super chats or like the paid like comments as a way to get attention. And I'm not really fond of that kind of promoting that kind of thinking, right? Like but at the same time, I've seen there are streamers that do feel like because someone paid money, they feel obligated to comment about, or to respond to some comments, right? And I don't really like that kind of, or at least I don't want to support that kind of culture, right? Like, essentially not enabling monetization is my kind of way of reserving the right to like ignore whatever I want. So like if someone like essentially, so my proposition to viewers is basically boils down to this: if you want to me to engage with you, like, then just say something that is worth engaging with. That, so this isn't a matter of me or you, or this is a matter of me or money, right? And it's now solely on the viewer. Do something that's like worth, or say something, or like comment, or or do some, again, just do something that's worth attention. You can't buy attention, so now it's now all on you to like do it. But as long as you do that, then it doesn't matter what the topic is or whatever. I'll look at it and then reply to it, right? But unfortunately, I don't like the idea of like buying attention. I don't think that's not that that's what people are doing, but I've seen a good chunk of people that seem like that kind of fall into that trap, where I don't know if it's like being starved for attention or what. I think especially COVID might have kind of exasperated that. But like, to me, chat besides cousins and jacks, well, you've already got viewers. I mean, there's that, right? So yeah, like that's one reason why I don't enable monetization. There were definitely, when I first started out, there were a ton of people, maybe not a ton, but there were at least a few dozen random people that would pop in and be like, if I pay you, can you respond? Can you react to my Fortnite montage or something? And I was like, I can react to the Fortnite montage, but I won't do it because I'm paid. Like I was like, so actually there was one person that came by multiple times. So it was kind of interesting to watch their montage like editing skills improve over time. But without that, I was like, why should I waste my time, right? You follow you doing ooh woo. Exactly, yeah, stuff like that. Like I'll follow you if you do this or that, and I'm like, I don't. If that's the requirement, then go. There's more interesting channels than mine if you want an ooh woo, right? um, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, anyway, the point is that, well, but at the same time, I also agree, if you enable monetization, then, like I feel like it's easier to put your foot down if there's no like, if there's no and this is essentially what I'm saying. If there's no money involved, there's no financial transaction. So there's no like, yeah, you just circumvent the issue entirely. letting the what are your thoughts on genocide? Yeah, there was one guy that was like, what are your thoughts on genocide? Um, well, at least that guy posed a question, right? Like, I'll give him that. I'm not sure what he was trying to get at, but yeah, yeah. I think, and again, Nor, you shouldn't use any of this, or you shouldn't, take any of this to mean that you shouldn't get affiliate. Um, just that the, again, the core reason, a lot of these things are more like afterthoughts. The core reason is I just don't want to take money, right? I just, on principle, I just don't think it's good to arbitrarily sign contracts. I don't want to deal with the whole hassle of money. That at the end of the day, that's it. And then, you can retroactively make up as many reasons as you want, but at the end of the day, that's all there is to it. Yeah. She's not too. Oh, yeah, yeah. To each their own, right? Yeah, I hope you don't take it the wrong way. I think if you can get affiliate, just make sure or I don't know, maybe you already have affiliate, but just whenever you do get it, or maybe if you already have it, make sure to go through the fine print of that contract. Just because it is a contract, right? So, if it were things like an end user license agreement, like you sign up with all websites, I'd be like, it's fine. But it is a contract and it does involve money, so there are points at which, for example, you do have to paying taxes. So so make sure to read it. If you get around to it. There's not that there's anything wrong in there, just that make sure you know what you're signing up to. Um, yeah, that's all there is to it, really. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, yeah, and I've told this to people before. These are principles, but the caveat isn't. I didn't say I don't agree with any financial. In fact, I do. I am totally fine with people getting affiliate and stuff. I'm just saying right now I don't have any reason to take money. So that doesn't mean I'll never have a reason. So and I've told this to Monteristy as well before, but there will probably come a time where I do need to ask for money, and I will ask for it then. But I'll just make it pretty upfront. I'll be like, okay, I need money. I need money, and I think when that happens, I'll also probably say that I won't explain why I need money. It should only, like, if I ever receive money, I think it should only be money that people don't need for themselves, right? I don't like, like people joke about, oh, I spent my life savings on VTubers or something. And that joke is fine until you actually see people that are legitimately spending like way too much money on, internet, you know, anime characters. And it's like, I don't like that on principle as well. So if I ever do ask for money, I probably won't explain why either. I'll just say that I need so and so amount of money by this date. And if anyone has any, can if anyone's okay with donating it, then, like, yeah, that extra coffee. I don't know about that extra coffee, but go the V-Bucks. Oh man, I'm just so short on V-Bucks. If only someone would buy some, or would click that Amazon wish list and buy me some, right? Yeah, I just want that Goku skin so bad. uh yeah, making me. Yeah. What is the rule? I don't know what, like, I guess it depends on where you live, right? But I guess in the US, if you make more than 10K a year, I think you have to report it to the IRS. I don't quite remember what the numbers are, but I think it's 10K. I'll have to ask my dad. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. Although again, for the emotes, you can use like Frankerface or Better TTV or whatever it is, and you can make like third-party ones to use temporary. This is just as like a temporary measure until you get affiliate, right? So if you are a little bit, if you get impatient about the whole like at least the emote part, the channel rewards, obviously you need to use Twitch's integrated thing for that. But if it's just emotes, then yeah, the third party ones seem to work fine. I don't know if they're still enabled on my channel, but um, yeah. But no, you're right, right? It's easier to just have it all fully integrated. At the very least, you don't have to get everyone to install a plugin, right? So yeah, yeah, yeah. Eventually, I'll make content worth, monetizing, and then when that happens, I'll probably ask for, yeah. Although, actually, so this is one thing, and so Monoristi is aware of this, but I have a little project called Operation Notice Me Omega Alpha Song. But the point is, it's a project to just develop my VTuber portfolio, and one thing I realized that I probably should work on is if I ever apply to like an agency, I should have several like business plans prepped, right? Like just to demonstrate, hey, I am capable of developing these business plans. So, so the agency can be confident that I'm not just like aimlessly streaming. I'm actually doing it with some kind of end or some big purpose in mind. And one of the things, and sorry, this is just because the whole channel rewards thing came up, is like I wanted to, I've been trying to think of like ways to monetize a channel that, like novel ways of monetizing a channel. How difficult? I mean, if you're like me and or if you're, if you can take 3 days off, then you can probably use something like VTube Student. Vroid Studio, sorry, Vroid Studio is a software developed by Pixiv, but you could use something like Vroid Studio and kind of make a DIY 3D model really quick. For me, it took about 3 days to like spin something basic up. So if you want to go really low budget, low difficulty, then you can probably use that. Assuming your computer can support running the tracking software. And then there are free tracking softwares like I don't remember what they are anymore. Sell a book. Actually, so the book thing I thought was interesting. I don't have the writing skills to write a book, but like for example, I was thinking like what are novel monetization methods? And I definitely think stuff like a tutorial series, right? Like say you say, okay, for the month of what is this month? September. For the month of September, I'm going to learn how to use, DaVinci Resolve, and then make like a tutorial series, and not as a tutorial like this is how you do it, because there are plenty of skilled people that already do that, but more like a viewer request. Let's use the DaVinci Resolve example. We could say something like, okay, so week 1 will be learn how to just basically use the software, and then week 2 will be, like getting sourcing from viewers, like, okay, let's make this text effect together or that text effect together, and monetize it like that, where it's not strictly me teaching, like developing a curriculum, but yeah, exactly. The how I learned code. Yeah, that guy. I think I'm thinking of the right person, but yeah, like stuff like that. That's one thing. But I think, yeah, like for example, and you can do different stuff. Like I want to learn how to do what do you call it? Embroidery. So like embroidery would be a cool one. So but yeah, but anyway, so what I was saying is that these are all ideas that I have in my head, but I guess what I should technically do is I should write a proper project proposal, and then wait. Oh no, isn't that? But there's a YouTube video by that name, or maybe it's just how I learned Python or something. But there's a YouTube video, and I think it's like an hour-long video of some guy learning Python from scratch or something. There's a YouTube video by that name, I think. Let me see. Isn't there? Am I thinking? Maybe it's a different name. Where is this guy? Shit, I don't see it. Okay, sorry, I might have misremembered the title, but there was a video like that. It's some guy just learning Python from scratch. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, but anyway, what I'm saying is that what I really should do is I should make proper project proposals out of these, and then eventually if I apply to like an agency, then I should compile all these project proposals and submit that along with my resume, right? Maybe not in the same PDF, but as like a separate supplemental document to say like, here are what I have in mind. So in that sense, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But I was just thinking, you make this one. Well, we have to be careful with the language here. So I drew the assets for this model, the one that you see on screen, right? But I didn't rig it, which is to say I didn't take the actual drawing and then convert and then make the movements work, right? That was done by someone else. That was done by Nay. Sorry, Nay as in Nayy. I think I have his Twitter linked on my Twitch somewhere. And in fact, I think she, I don't know actually, but they I guess, because I don't know which gender they are, but I think they actually are a VTuber now as well, if I remember correctly. Let's see. But I don't think they're taking requests anymore, but I'm pretty sure they yeah, they stream on Twitch. Yeah. Could you offer to make the model for people and then they get it rigged by someone else? That's often what I see. There are people that do both the drawing and the rigging, but what I often see is that people will can buy a model, or a model in terms of just the drawing with all the components in there, and then and then they have someone else rig it. I've also seen stuff where people will like recommend certain riggers, so so that there's some degree of like, there people know what to expect. So some illustrators and riggers will kind of team up with each other or team up and offer like a service. It gets pretty expensive, but you can also get it done pretty cheap. My personal recommendation is probably decide if you want to do 2D or 3D first. If you do 3D, then I'd build a prototype in VTube or Vroid Studio. So I can link that for you. I don't know if this is the go-to these days, but this is where I started, so you can probably use that to start. And then if you're going to go 3D, I would use that software to build a prototype really quick of whatever you're thinking of. It is a little bit limited in terms of software, but you'll have to forget 2D and PNG. So that was what I was going to say. If you prefer 2D, then I would start with a PNG. And so what is a PNG? I mean, PNG technically is just a file format, right? PNG is I believe it's a lossless, is it lossless? I don't know, but it's a file format for an image. When people say they're a PNG, they're really just saying they're using a flat image for their character, right? When people what people consider, so it doesn't move, or maybe it does move, but it's not like animated. It might like shake around or something, but it's not all that animated. And then what you would then consider, so yeah, if you wanted to go 2D, like so eventually move around, like have this flat or have this two-dimensional anime character move around and stuff, I would start with the PNG to just get your design, set. And then after you're kind of established and stuff and you know that this is what you want to do, then I would probably commission an artist to do a full model. And the model consists of more than just a flat image, right? It has, the hair and the skin and certain body parts all separated into different parts. And the act of, or the whole thing together, these multiple images that are all kind of put on top of each other to create the full character, is what's often considered a 2D model. Just being VTuber next month. Okay, yeah, totally. I mean, I think it's totally, like, I DIY'd it because I was kind of picky about what I wanted. And the thing is, I was picky about what I wanted, and I didn't want to bother an artist about it. So I just decided to do it myself, just so I didn't have to bother anyone about it. But if you can find an artist that's available and then they can do exactly what you want, then, and you have enough money, that's pretty important. If you have enough money and you can, and all those other things are satisfied, then yeah, I mean, do it. Just ask someone, just be like, hey, I'm, interested, send out a little inquiry and be like, I'm interested in commissioning something, yeah. Yeah. Of course, again, I will say though, don't screw over the artist. I feel like that should come without, or I feel like that should be, without that, you'd like that does, wouldn't need to be said, but yes, right. Of course, don't scam the artist. Yeah. Complicated. Well, I mean, I think So in game development, there's a or just in product development rather, there's this concept of a minimum viable product, which is to say, when you're planning out, these projects, you want to ask, or it's often very efficient or it's often very practical to ask, what is the bare minimum I can develop to get something like just working. And so in my case, for example, the minimum viable product, like you can actually, if you have access to the videos from when I was initially making this model started out full body, right? And then I was like, I don't have time to do full body. So I got rid of full body. I made it just the torso, or I did upper body. And then as I was doing upper body, I was like, this is still taking too long. So then I got rid of all the I got rid of all the components, or not all the components, but I totally ditched making any of the arm components or like the body components move. I separated them, but I didn't add any fancy stuff for getting it to move. And then I was like, okay, wait, this is still taking too long. So then I was like, what else can I get rid of? And I was like, oh, okay, I can get rid of the clothing. So if you look very carefully, this model doesn't even have a shirt on. It's literally just I shaded part of the skin up to like the collarbone, and then I just stopped because I didn't have time. And I was like, okay, is there anything more I can get rid of and still have what would be considered a functional model? And I was like, okay, if I have the face and the head, or if I have the head and the hair, then that's the bare minimum I can get away with and still call it a VTuber model, right? Or a live 2D model. So as you can see, in my case, the minimum viable product is really just the head or the hair and the face, and then just bare minimum. Yeah, right? Like, but literally what it is I just stopped shading. Anyway, basically, but so this is just a general thought process in terms of just project management, right? But just ask yourself, or I think it's worth, you don't have to do this, of course, but I think it's worth asking yourself, even if your OC, like the end goal is a flaming nine-tailed fox person, what is the bare minimum you can get started with? And you've done I think you said you had like a PNG, right? I would maybe consider, where is it? Where did he say? Discord picture today. Okay. So I mean, first thing I was probably look into the tech issues you were having, because tech issues are going to get worse the more complicated your model gets, right? So you might want to troubleshoot that first, but cute flow. I don't know if I'd have a disembodied head, but let's see. But like what is like, a nine-tailed fox is, right? Like when I think nine-tailed fox, I think you could have all nine tails, but you could totally just start out with just fox ears, right? And not even have the tails. You could add the tails later, right? So then, okay, you get rid of a lot of work there. And then like, what are other ways you can simplify the process so that you can get started sooner? And then, you can always add more later, right? Well, you can't necessarily always add more later, but if you think a little bit ahead, then you should be able, or you would ideally be able to, plan something in a way where you can kind of just, like, plan it smart so that you can add components later, is I guess what I'm saying. And then sometimes you have to accept that you're going to have to do some refactoring, so to speak, or refactoring. So refractoring. Is it refactoring or refractoring? It is refactoring. Sorry, it's refactoring. Right, exactly. Like, simplify it, and like don't even have the arms fully rigged. Just have, or I mean, I guess have the arms rigged, but you don't have to have it tracked, right? Your arms don't have to be tracked, and that saves a lot of work, right? Whoever animates the model knows that, if it's just a wave, they might not even have to, model the left arm or one arm, because you only need one arm to wave, right? So you could save time with that, so on and so forth. I guess in terms of rigging, you probably want everything rigged up first, but yeah. And I think there's there's probably a lot of ways you can even just get a PNG to work, right? Like in terms of a PNG, do you even need, like, as long as you get like mouth movements and blinking, I feel like a PNG already goes a long way, right? Clothing fox, exactly, right? You know, what is the bare minimum you can get away with? So personally, what I would recommend though is if you have a PNG right now, I would probably find there's some software that lets you switch between PNGs rapidly, and I would probably just make two like PNGs, like one with the mouth closed and one open, and just get software that can use both of those to like make it look like you're talking. So I'd probably start there, personally speak, if I were to redo everything again. But if you're already at the stage where the next clear step is a new model, then yeah, see what you can minimize. Loading talk. Okay. Okay, so yeah, maybe the next easy step would be to just get the mouth to like open and close, which, you know, really only requires two PNGs, like mouth open, mouth closed, and then because if it's a flat image, then you can probably add the ears and tail really easily, right? So it's probably not too much work. If you do the whole model, then it can be kind of a hassle to like retrofit an old model and stuff. So, but anyway, yeah. So I guess, you know, best of luck in that regard. I unfortunately can't give too much advice because my model's kind of stagnated for a while now, but excuse me. Yeah. Sorry, let me get some more water. Oh yeah. So sorry. What do you call it? Oh, it's a different. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, if I could go back, I would totally start with the PNG because it took forever to draw this thing. And it wasn't, you know, and it's just this, right? Just drawing this just took ages. And I mean, part of it was that I had to just give up and buy Clip Studio because um I bought Clip Studio like the $50 plan because I was just like I got to the point where I'm just like I can't like it's too hard to work. So I caved and I ended up buying the software, but it was a good purchase. Or at least it. I have mixed feelings. Also, I know Clip Studio or Celsius is switching to subscription, and I am honestly really pissed off about that. But whatever. Um, Jack. Oh yeah. Welcome back. Letters on the bottom. That's the name of the channel. um, Although maybe I should stylize Tamaki as hiragana. Because I guess when you have Tamaki and Channeru next to each other in katakana, it kind of all reads together and it's maybe a little bit hard to read. Um, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, actually I think I have my YouTube stylized the same way where Tamaki is hiragana. So actually that's a good catch. I need to update that. Thanks for mentioning that. Let me double check. I think that's how I have it stylized. Let's check Twitter. I'm pretty sure that's how I have it stylized on Twitter. No, Twitter is Tamaki as well. So yeah, I guess that's the question. Do I use hiragana for the name or not? How do I have it on here? Okay, yeah. So on YouTube, I have it hiragana. So the question is, do I update everything else or do I just update YouTube? I don't know. I don't think about. Well, let me put that on Notion. Future stream upgrades, and then let's see. Heading number 2, which is what did I want to say? I guess channel title stylization. And we'll say need to standardize Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch channel banners and account names, and then just that. Yeah, I totally forgot I never actually standardized it. Oops. Anyway, cool. Yeah, that's a good catch. That was a good catch. They streak on Duolingo's. How is Duolingo, actually? Or Duolingo. Lingo, not linguo. Um, like, is it actually, I mean, I guess it's better than not trying to learn, but I've always been a little bit skeptical about those apps. Yeah. I mean, I think that, again, the easiest way to learn these things, right, is learn it in a way that's interesting for you, right? So, uh, like, that's difficult. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would try, like, this might sound stupid, but if you're interested in like digital design, I might try, you know, try making like banners or something, right? Um, and then, use that as an excuse to like learn or so essentially what I'd say is like maybe like as practice, make a bunch, get like Photoshop or something and then like make a bunch of banners where all the text is Japanese and then, that gives you an excuse to learn or to really remember what each, character looks like and stuff so that you can, make these banners and stuff, right? Um so I'd probably recommend something like that or what is a good way? It needs to be entertaining, but also require. That's the difficulty. I don't know. Color. Well, I mean, like in terms of a banner, you don't need actual drawing, right? You can use all those fancy effects they have in Photoshop and stuff, right? Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, I see. So they've kind of like gamified learning a language. That's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the best way to learn would be. Maybe a Duolingo is just better. Or Duolingo. I can't talk. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I've mentioned this before to you, but I can't really give much advice in regards to learning Japanese from scratch because, my mom's Japanese, so I kind of just grew up listening Japanese or listening to Japanese. And then we also visited our relatives in Japan a lot, so I had quite a bit of an advantage in terms of using Japanese or learning Japanese. With that said, I still can't really read or write all that well. I can talk decently, I think, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the best way to learn a language would be. Dumb. Well, I mean, considering there are people like that in every country, maybe that's actually the faster way. You know how they say like people learn Russian by playing CS:GO? Like maybe you just have to like find a really really like toxic game that's like only played by Japanese players and then, learn learn how to curse in Japanese like that and then, maybe that's what it takes, honestly. Like if it works, I'm not going to criticize it, right? Uh I'll read it right. It says that thing. Well, I mean, again, it's a different kind of smart, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I can't give any advice in regards to learning Japanese. Um I mean, I can, if you have questions, I can try to answer them, but I'm not at all qualified or, you know, yeah. Yeah. So one thing I will say though is that I do think taking classes is good. I mean, obviously not to say that, you shouldn't use these apps to learn a language. I think if there's no, if that's the most convenient, you got at some point you got to be practical, right? You can say, oh, the best thing is to take a class from a professional, teacher and stuff, blah blah blah. But like, if you don't have time to take a class, then that doesn't mean shit, right? So if like the best thing you can do is to use Duolingo, sorry, I can't. Then that's just that. But if it's at all possible to like even take like an intro class or something, but or whatever, then um I, I, my gut feeling is that would be better just because there's an established like curriculum. So like there's and I guess mainly that you can get feedback from a real person. I think again, it kind of depends on the person, but I think often people, do better with that kind of like real time feedback. Um, so I guess Duolingo, from what I've seen, actually kind of provides that too. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of funny. He's like man in the middle attack, except with like languages. That's not actually bad. That sounds kind of fun, honestly. Oh, jeez. Was this person doing it on Twitch or what? Like, actually, it's getting pretty late. I need to actually consider where I'm gonna get dinner. I should do this off screen, or else I'm gonna completely dox myself. Um, let's see. Store, I guess restaurants. Thinking learn. It's a TED Talk. Oh, really? Okay, wait. Do you have a link to the TED Talk? I want to see that. Sorry, while I look up what's still open. Actually, a lot of places are still are open late now. I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess we're not really in lockdown anymore, right? We're not really in COVID lockdown anymore, so. But the Chinese place is closed. I wanted to get some mapo tofu, but it'll have. Okay, you got to give up on the mapo tofu. Actually, wait, I can totally dox myself because I'm at a public university. There's nothing private about my location. Yeah. What am I saying? Okay. Oh yeah, when is the ramen place open until? It's closed. Polyglot. Oh wait, I think I haven't seen the video, but I think I saw it pop up before. Let me Google it. It's probably this. Um Was it a dude or was it a or I guess was it not? I guess that's the question. Actually, there's several people about like languages. About language. Maybe let's see how I Actually, there's a decent number of videos. I don't know which one this is. Yeah, whatever, we'll look into it. There's a woman. Okay. So maybe it's this one because it mentions polyglot. Okay, I'll have to look. Okay, so it's a lady though. Okay, so then I'll just sort by those. Um, I went to school and lived down the street. Yeah, don't dox yourself. Yeah, no, but in my case, I mean, literally, I'm at a public university, so it's public to the point that you'll find homeless people just like sleeping against the trees. It's really kind of depressing, but at the same time, it's not really clear what we can do because, yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I guess at the very least, it seems like the university is trying to provide like some. Which I don't know. There's a few. I don't know. It's not the university, but there are some nonprofits nearby that try to cook and then serve food at the local park fairly often. So it is there are some local programs that try to help them, but it's unfortunate. But anyway, but that's just to say that there's like you know, people can freely walk in this place. And also it's come just, you know, it's public. It's public, so there's no real point in really hiding where I am. Let's see. What is open though? I might just have to go to the Italian place because I know that place is open until midnight. I might just have to walk around. Also I have some donuts, so I could probably just munch on those worst case scenario. Kind of wanted to eat something, you know, just like a solid dinner though. I mean, I guess if I wanted to eat a solid dinner, I should have, you know, gone out sooner, but anyway. Oh, the burger place. I don't really want a burger. Taco place. Oh, yeah, no, that's not a burger place. Taco Bell. I might just have to go for or I might just have to go for hot dogs. Let's run it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I don't know if our high school had anything like that, but I guess. Oh, you know what? They did, but they were doing it just as I was leaving. But you know, props to them, I gotta say. Yeah. I think my keyboard's me. Yeah, I noticed sometimes I don't know if your keyboard's stuck or if you got something there, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I think I'm gonna go grab dinner. And then I'll probably, I mean, I'll come back and then keep studying, but what I'll probably do is I'll probably just end the stream and then eat and then restart it once I start. No strat today. Well, that's the thing actually. My my phone SIM card expired, so I don't have a data plan. So no strat. I don't know how much demand is there for the strat because I'll have a lot of opportunities in the coming, you know, weeks to do the strat, so to speak. Sorry for people that are new. The strat is really just what we refer to as the strat is me streaming off of my phone and going to buy like takeout. Um, usually hot dogs. But unfortunately, right now I don't have a usable SIM card to stream with, so uh, I tried to get spicy food and it got deleted. Really? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm honestly waiting for like a Black Friday deal or something, or maybe I was hoping there'd be a Labor Day deal on like SIM card, you know, plans or something, but um, yeah. All right, yeah, Monarchy sounds good. Good luck at work tomorrow. But yeah, so I think we're gonna call the stream, or we'll call it a day for the stream in terms of this moment. Again, I'll come back later, but you know, no one should feel obligated or you know, like don't force yourself to show up because I don't even know if I'm gonna start. You know, I'll probably start back up in maybe an hour and a half or so. So it's pretty late, you know. You know, for everyone that can or should, honestly, yeah, just go to sleep. Because again, this stream will happen fairly often, or at least we're gonna try to keep it consistent. Because I mean, I need to study, right? So yeah, you know, missing it a day or two won't really be that big a deal. Um, yeah, kind of getting tired. Yeah, just take the day off. I gotta study, of course, but also I don't really have that much work to do tomorrow, so I can afford to sleep in. But anyway, yeah. So everyone that came, so I guess let's see, Monoristi, Nor, Jax, who else was here today? LCO popped in. Who else? And there was someone else. There was someone else. Why is my memory? You can tell how bad my memory is. Oh, was it Jade? Was it? Why can I not remember? The person with the that's working on their dissertation. Sage. Sorry. And I think that's it in terms of people that popped by today. But yeah. Thanks for popping by. Take care. Stay safe. Have a good evening. And well, I won't necessarily catch you guys later, but if I do, yeah, see you later. If not, you know, that's life. Yeah, take it easy, everyone. It's still halfway through the week. We still got half a week to get through, so you know, pace yourselves well, I guess. And yeah. So yeah, thanks for coming by. Let's go to